hopefully I was able to let Denise have maybe some solution problems. Otherwise, Instagram, we're going to be on
it's solo Instagram moment.
Solo Instagram the whole time with you, which is totally fine. We've got pieces of paper we can show you.
Oh my gosh.
And other things. However, I know you, Emily, you've done a great job holding down the floor while I was.
I'm working it. Yeah.
While I was crawling on the floor, trying to figure it out. Oh, it smells amazing.
That's maybe just the last hurdle you've had to overcome in 2020.
I hope so.
You know? Yeah. I'm curious, are we sideways or are we vertical?
Has anybody told us?
No. I think we're, I mean, it seems like perhaps we're okay, but.
It's fine.
You know.
I can go and look, I guess.
No. Why don't you talk about the wine okay, we're good, right? We're good. All right, so let's
The wine?
Yeah.
The wine, if I could say that any more crazy. The wine. The sparkling, actual champagne. I mean, like, cheers to the wine merchant for giving us champagne.
And at $25.
That's a very affordable bottle of champagne.
Crazy good price.
Very good price.
You know, and it's crazy delicious.
It's very, very good. Very good.
Oh my God, our producer over there, she's salivating at the fact that we haven't shared any with her yet.
Yeah, she's probably gonna want some shots after this broadcast is done. Goodness gracious. Sometimes you just don't know.
Well, you know, we're trying, you know, we're working hard.
It's 2020.
And
it's 2020.
There's a full moon, there's all kinds of weird things going on. I'm sure that is all part of the disruption.
Yeah. I wanted it to go so smoothly. Oh well, it's okay. We appreciate everybody who is sticking with us for our final time of the month of 2020. Of this year. I mean, you guys could probably relate because my guess is that you've had days like this in 2020.
Where you're crawling on the floor, trying to figure out how to fix things.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm sweating a little bit from all of the activity.
You're just glowing.
Is that
You're
what
not
it is?
sweating.
Yeah, I'm glowing. I'm
Yeah.
glowing. I'm not glowing like Rudy Giuliani glows.
No, you don't have like hair dye running down your face.
Right.
That is definitely
That was a
moment
bad
of 2020.
I mean, his handlers.
I mean, what? You know, maybe he just has really, like, maybe his handlers secretly were celebrating that moment. Because somebody would have been like, dude, handkerchief, like, you know, maybe coaching the fact that kind of happens sometimes. So, you know, grab a little, what do you do? Just pat yourself. Like, don't just let the...
That was one of those times when I was really, really thankful that I was not involved in Rudy Giuliani's life in any way, shape, or form. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But the champagne...
Oh, so yummy. It's really
You know, the champagne's panty and 2020's panty are two different.
I would say this is a 2021 hopeful panty. Right? And the best of 2020. It's like the best of 2020 is on the inside of the panty.
Yeah.
What's the best of 2020 for you?
I would probably have to say all of the education I've gotten this year.
Yeah, you've definitely grown a lot.
It's just, you know, not only the technology side and the streaming side, although you can't tell today on YouTube. But
look at this rig.
Right, but just even like our history, things I've learned from other people.
The Women's History Museum, the visit that we went to.
The Beyond the Ballads.
Oh my God.
All of those, I just feel like I really grew. I have grown a lot in my knowledge of the world, and and there's still so much more. You know, I guess. How would you say? My thought for 2020 is my thirst to learn was reignited because I had time to spend with research and trying things and reading things and listening to things. You know,
so you were able to grow a lot.
Right.
I mean, and that's something where, you know, in normal times we can just be so buried with not only just the business of our lives, work, family, you know, but also how we entertain ourselves with our lives, right?
Right.
Our wine tastings, which I miss greatly, but
Right.
you know, wine tastings, social, like sure, I'll go here, that, you know, and then time slips away, and then you don't have time for the development of yourself.
Right.
And
Right.
so that is something.
Yeah, that's a positive.
Yeah.
For 2020, and in a time when having positives were few and far between.
We gotta look for those though.
Yeah, to try to stay with a happier demeanor, because I don't know how many of our listeners and viewers out there felt the roller coaster of emotions this year, where you're trying to stay up and trying to stay positive, but gosh, everyday messaging or the worry, the fear. I mean, it could be easy to slip into a funk.
The news, the social media, it's like a lot of the stuff that's getting thrown at you, you know.
Yeah.
It's tough, you know, you're like trying to like
be like Wonder Woman.
Right.
1984.
Yes.
Did you watch that movie?
If only I had my invisible plane. No, I have not.
Okay.
Yeah, have you?
Yeah, we watched it on Christmas.
And mixed reviews, I'm hearing.
Yeah, I would say mixed reviews.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. There are some people that absolutely love it. I'm glad that I saw it on HBO Max. Thank you, Domain Glennon wine guy, Darren. He didn't give it me, but he did HBO Max, right? But
we are definitely
fans
friends
of his.
and fans, yeah.
But I wouldn't have gone to the theater to see it.
Oh my God.
I mean, even if there's no COVID, I wouldn't have gone to the theater to see it. I would have been like, really? I spent all that money?
Yeah.
So.
What was the last movie? Okay, sidebar, and then we still have to circle back to that.
Sure.
Sidebar is, what is the last movie you saw in theater?
I don't know. I don't remember. It's a long time.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
It has been, it's so interesting to me because, since I've become an adult, like I've been to very few movies in the theater.
I mean, we used to go on a regular basis on Christmas Day. We would see whatever the Star Wars release was. And the kids would get the reclining seats. I had to admit something with my kids now. The reclining seats, but I don't remember. I'll have to ask them when I get home.
Mm.
But we did talk at one of the things we found out about 2020 back if we go to the movies is what is Netflix, and the average number of hours that people watched Netflix per person per day in 2020 has been 3.2 hours.
That doesn't surprise me.
Up from 2 hours in 2019.
I mean, that's actually, it sounds like a pretty modest number.
Yeah, that's the average, which means there's people that do way more and way less. And I think I saw a statistic out there that said that means that equated to 168 billion hours of Netflix viewing collectively.
That's crazy.
How many hours do you watch, or do you think you watched during 2020?
So
per day.
I think I'm a little on the lower side because I've started a new job. Yeah. Technically 2 new jobs, and so I have very little time for at-home leisure, and I literally, when I come home and I'm finally in my cozy home clothes, I go to my sofa. I probably get 1 episode, maybe 2 of something like Schitt's Creek or The Office, because I just
Are you rewatching The Office?
I am.
Okay.
I'm trying to get it all in until the end of the year.
Okay.
And I'm almost there. I'm not sure I'm going to make it, but I try because it's happy, it's uplifting, it's fun. Yeah. I might on the weekends when I'm having a slow morning watch a Christmas movie or something like that. But I haven't watched a ton. And I usually fall asleep like halfway through my 30-minute show. So, what about you? What are you watching? Where are you at
we
with
watched
that?
Schitt's Creek this year too. After you recommended it to
Yeah.
us early days in the
I
pandemic.
know, yeah.
And we had to get through like the first couple episodes because we were like, "What in the world is?"
It's hard to.
Well,
yeah.
we know Emily likes this show because of the fashion, but then it was like,
Oh, it's way beyond.
way
that.
beyond
It's
that.
characters.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we totally loved Schitt's Creek. So that was one we did. Oh, remember Tiger King?
I haven't watched it.
Okay, well that was early days.
I'm scared of watching that one.
Because you think you're going to want to have your own exotic
I'm afraid
tiger?
of, like, I've heard he's an animal abuser, and I think
He's
that'll
in
give me
jail.
nightmares.
He's in jail, so it's okay. He's in jail.
Okay, so the justification comes the end.
Yeah.
Not justification, but the like, this man has gotten what he deserves.
Yeah, he's no longer. I mean, whatever he's he's no longer. He's in jail, and then then you'll have to ask after you watch it. You have to let me know whether or not you think Carol Baskins killed her husband. Because we all think she did.
Okay, I'm intrigued now. I am.
Yeah, so we watched and Schitt's Creek, and then I've been watching The X-Files with my son. William has started
Like the original series?
all the way from the beginning. Yes.
That was such a great show.
It's dark. It's really dark. I mean, there's some things like, wow, that was pretty violent. That was pretty graphic for 1990.
Right, yeah. It was. I remember having nightmares from watching that
and
show.
then, of course, that energy, that physical connection that you see, or that that Scully and Mulder have, and you're just like, oh, when
are you going to make it happen?
Yeah. So that's nice to revisit that. And then
when do they finally make it happen?
I don't know. We haven't gotten it there yet.
Okay.
We haven't gotten to that episode yet. And then we watch a lot of HGTV and rehab stuff.
That makes a lot of sense because you are constantly working on your home now. Like, let's paint the entire porch in the backyard, and let's create a stage and living room back here, and let's move the entire house around, which consequently is why we're here tonight.
Right. Why Studio C is now Studio S. At Stars. We really appreciate Stars letting us come here.
Yeah. So we have to circle back because we've not heard your tasting notes.
Well, first of all, I think the panty should be this color.
Okay. I think that's
like
fair.
a light golden champagne color.
Pretty. Oh my god. It's very golden.
Yeah.
It's very optimistic. It's very much like a New Year wine.
And it's a kind of material that keeps your body at the perfect temperature. Like it's not going to get too warm. It's not going to get too cold. Just sort of like it feels like a second skin.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, it feels like a second skin, and it lets you make whatever decisions you want to make.
This is a power panty in a way.
It's a non-judgmental panty.
Okay.
Especially because we're thinking forward for 2021, right? You want to hopefully be able to have some things that you're doing that you might get you in some trouble.
Oh my God. What does trouble look like for you in 2021? Seriously. What does that mean?
I know what trouble looked like for me 10 years ago, but I don't know what trouble looks like
What
now.
does it look like now?
I don't know what
Let's
it looks
talk
like
about
now.
the dream. What would the dream? I'm Michelle. I've been cooped up for a year. I want to get into some trouble, and it's safe to get in trouble. What does that look like?
Well, if all things go perfectly, it could end up being a girls' trip to Cabo San Lucas. San Lucas, because it's a drive. It would be a driving trip. So I have some time. I have some time I need to use for vacation, so that I don't lose vacation.
Yeah.
And so a couple of the friends do as well, and we were talking about possibly it's only 24 hours plus 14 to get there.
I mean, that's nothing.
As you drive, so 36 hours. So that would definitely be a trouble trip. A lot of fun, though. A lot of fun. So Because, you know, the last 2 years, Emily, I've been at this time of the year,
You're gallivanting
I'm
around.
ready to leave. I'm ready to go to Europe and visit and see new things, and I don't have any plans. I mean, I don't have any plans, which is really sad.
Yeah.
And I have felt 2020, but it really kind of just settled in and hit home.
Yeah.
This week, because I have nothing. I'm not getting on a plane next week and going to be cold in another country.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I'm gonna be home.
On the, kind of circling back with your your travel and where you like to travel to, you know.
Yeah.
And tying in the Netflix conversation, I did watch a series filmed in Sweden.
Oh, which one did you watch?
Love and Anarchy.
I don't think I've seen that one. On Netflix?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or I might have.
It's kind of fun. So, and I thought of you the whole time because I was like, oh my God, this is what it looks like, because it was in Stockholm.
Yeah.
It was filmed there. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it's so metropolitan looking.
Yeah, it's a great city.
And
you would love it. They're very fashionable people there.
I was all over it.
Yeah.
So, the basic storyline is there's a woman who has everything. She's got the husband that's a director.
Mm-hmm.
Gorgeous home, kids. She's a powerhouse of a person consulting, and she takes on a job at a publishing company to turn it around.
Okay.
And she's just kind of at that point in her life where just something curious invigorates her. And so she starts this odd little challenge with this low-level person at the company. He's like a part-time temp,
Okay.
And it's kind of like this, where they have like this little dare that they pass back and forth. Like it's your turn to dare. It's your turn. And it's never anything dark or sexual, but it's just always kind of like it's a social challenge dare. And, she's disrupting her life for it, but it's the only bit of like real thrill that she has.
Interesting.
It is very interesting. I think you'd love it. But
Okay.
I was like, oh my God, Sweden, And now I've always wanted to go, but now I really want to go because it looks pretty amazing. So.
It is. And everyone I've met in Sweden they're just lovely people.
Yeah.
So, and it's a lot of fun. I do enjoy it. So hopefully we'll all get vaccinated. We'll all be able to fly internationally.
Off a plane you'll go.
Because I wouldn't take a cruise ship. That would be
oh my
worse.
God, that's the last place I'm going to be.
Worse than being on a plane.
I am, however, interested in maybe like in the interim, like a little train trip, because I think you could get your own little car.
Yes, you could.
Which I think would be really fun.
The bedroom cars are a lot of fun. I just have to let you know that it's not inexpensive.
Well, we're not traveling anywhere else right now.
Yeah.
We're not going out. We're not buying bottles of wine out at restaurants anymore.
Well, I don't know. If we look at the stat for the number of bottles of wine that are consumed.
Oh, well, that's a fair point.
The U.S.
It has gone up. 4.3 billion bottles sold.
And that was a pre-COVID number.
Yikes.
That was 2019 numbers.
It's
4.3 billion.
I'm pretty sure we've had a dent in that.
Well, I think we've contributed. Maybe we might be the 0.3 of the 4.3 billion. I mean, that's a lot of wine that we consume here in the United States.
Yeah, it is.
And
it's a fair amount.
I mean, I know I've consumed a lot this year.
So, we talked a lot about, like, early on in our show about kind of like the bottle buying shame that you used to have, like with our wine tastings. You'd go home and you'd so has that decreased this year because we're not doing wine tastings and you're not bringing home like 6-10 bottles at a time that are way beyond what you thought was reasonable price? Or are you still buying?
No, I'm probably buying in like the $20 range when I make my order with the wine merchant usually. However, the other day I was shopping with our friend Tracy. It was before Christmas, and Tracy and I were shopping in Maplewood. So we stopped by Chateau Maplewood. We said hello.
Love those guys.
And they were, they're still operating. They're still open.
Yeah.
Thankfully. And I saw that they were carrying the Inopia bottle. INOPIA, remember that? And I remember, I was like, oh my God, there's that bottle. And so I bought 2.
Yeah,
they have the last case in, so.
Okay, so that's when you need to give me like the text alert, like, go get it, girl.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure there's still some there because it was $30 a bottle.
I know. Yeah, it is, but it's so well worth it. It tastes a $65 bottle of Burgundy.
It's so good. And I
really
don't remember it costing that much when we bought it, but it might have. And I was like,
it did.
I was like, I'm just going to buy 2 bottles. So now I have 2 bottles. And,
it did.
And it was just delightful. And it was a great day. It was a lot of fun. We went to the smaller stores. It was just really nice to do some shopping in Maplewood.
And be out and be like.
Yeah, and getting, you know.
And
then, and getting some wine to carry home. And I still have a lot of wine. I have the ear infection I'm working through.
Yeah, those are terribly painful.
So, so I haven't been drinking very much. I mean, I am tonight.
So you're going to be a lightweight tonight?
Well, this is really good champagne. I might.
I'm like, is it more for me?
I might be like, screw the antibiotic. We'll just suffer one more day because this champagne is worth suffering for.
Absolutely.
You know, we're suffering for. But I would be curious if out there in our YouTube and our Instagram land, you know, how many bottles of wine have you drank in 2020? Do we have any goals? Like, I have friends who have goals to like read so many books.
Yeah.
Do we have a goal like we're gonna drink so many bottles, or like maybe we should come up with a goal like that?
I'm just thinking
a vision board of the wine we're gonna drink.
I don't think it's a number. I think it's what is it? You know, it's you know, more of tasting more like this or whatever.
Or maybe we take like a different region or country.
I want to learn more about Italian wine. I mean, I'm all about the French. You know that.
You've got that down. But
I really want to get into Italy. Okay. You know, and you have friends there.
I have
So, like, I want to, I know regions that I know and I know and I like.
Yeah.
But I want to be broader in my understanding there.
Italian wines.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's one of our goals for 2021. Y'all,
we'll put it on our vision board.
Come along with us. We're going to explore more regions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, like, when I was talking about, like, you coming home with this, like, bottle shame.
Yeah.
Now, like, with COVID, knowing that we've had these, like, 4.3 billion bottles plus sold this year, like, has that shame evolved to, like, that carrying the empty bottles out to the dumpster?
No, because I actually have my children carry them. Nobody has to see me in the alleyway. The clinking of the glasses into nobody has to see
those darn children
at all
misbehaving.
So they just walk in there and like, oh, that's my mom. You know, it's been a rough year. Everybody home, nobody going anywhere. Yeah. So
Yes. We're finally cleaning out the recycling for years.
Yeah.
Years.
Yeah. This is not last week. Not last week. So
this wasn't yesterday.
No, mom didn't drink all this by herself on the porch.
Oh my God.
You know, pre-COVID, we had actually had our Cliterally, who were local, could have joined us here live.
I know, we could have a little party.
Drinking this champagne and
we have one Cliterally down here.
And unfortunately, we don't have the drone. We didn't have the budget for a drone to like fly over and then hover by Iggy Pup. But he looks like a guru in the Far East and a cult waiting to happen. The Iggy Pup cult.
You know, we do have company. He's silent audience, but So let's
talk about another real quick. Let's just hit some of these We know that coronaviruses are an uninvited guest for 2020. The guest that
The surprising guest.
Have you ever had like a
knock on the door?
Had a party and like, oh, you came with somebody?
Yeah.
And then that person just stays and stays, and you're like, I'm
Oh,
cleaning
yeah.
up, and
you're trying
so
to, and they don't
late.
get the hint.
And they don't get the hint. Yeah,
Right.
That's coronavirus.
And then they just continue to settle in even deeper and deeper.
And they're like, I really like it here.
Yeah. Even when you ask them to leave, they don't leave. Yes.
So that's how I feel like coronavirus has been, but worse.
Yeah.
Because I've never had a guest that comes over and kills you. So
I know, and it is, you know, we're as this has rolled along, you know, we've seen, you know, more connections. It's like the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon, like it's coming closer.
Yeah.
You know,
the circles are coming closer.
They are. You know,
and unfortunately, we've had over 341,000 deaths in the United States
alone, right?
as of today's stat.
Yeah.
That's just, you know, and Marianne from Gilligan's Island died today from coronavirus.
Really? Did she?
Yep.
Oh man.
Yeah. To
Marianne.
I liked. She was my favorite on Gilligan's Island.
Of course she was. She was accessible and cute and. It's really sad. How old?
I think she was in her. I don't know. She was 70, 80, something like that.
Still too young.
She wasn't. She wasn't late 80s and she wasn't early 70s. So there's a 20-year span in there.
Well, that's tough. It's tough.
Yeah. Yes.
So, you know what? I mean, we all know there have been a lot of hardships due to COVID this year, but I'd love to like kind of think about some of the, you know, we talked early on about some of the positives that came out
just
of
a few
it.
of them. I mean,
like you're learning, you know, your increased learning on things, which is great. You know, I think, you know, some of the things are, you know, people are having more family time. They're cooking great meals at home together.
Well, some are, yes.
You know,
you're like, we have to because restaurants are like have diminished capacity on whether or not they can have dine-in or they have, you know, some have been able to pivot and keep things open and do a lot of curbside carry out, things like that. And some haven't been able to.
Yeah.
I mean, even though they were doing it, they haven't been able to stay open, which is really unfortunate because to me, I just wish people would, not people, but I wish elected folks would understand that everything that's happening to the non-elected folks is not things that people chose for themselves, right? Or, wow, my business, I ran out of money because I was a terrible business person. No, things have happened to people. And we've all tried to navigate this crazy freaking time. And so for those of us who might have spent a lot of time eating out, realize, oh, well, you know, 5 out of the 10 of my favorite restaurants have diminished hours or are changing or they don't do delivery or whatever it is, and now I have to cook at home. And so what did they say? What's the stat? That 55% are eating at home more frequently.
Right.
Yeah. We have.
And 35% of people have actually developed a new passion for cooking. That's huge. Like, you know, and I think that's great. You know, when
you have a passion for cooking, so you identify with that.
Oh, completely. Yeah. You know, when you love to cook, you know, not only is it this great, like, meditative thing that has this, you know, beautiful end result, but you're in control of the quality that you're not over salting, you're not putting preservatives, you're not like you're in control of what you're actually consuming. When you go to a restaurant, no matter how good it is, you don't really know what you're getting. And, you know, you're somebody who cares a lot about your health.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and so I think that there's there's value out of, it takes time, but there's value out of.
It takes Emily a lot of time.
It does. Oh my God. So did you not love the Christmas posts that I was sending you?
Yeah.
So Michelle loves to give me a hard time about the fact that I think of cooking not as our dinner time is at this hour, we're sitting, we're having dinner. But for me, dinner is we're hanging out in the kitchen. It's a whole experience, right? And dinner's late. It's
Very
late.
late.
It's like Spain hours, right?
The next day. and that's okay. I think it's okay, Emily, if your guests are aware of that.
I always provide snacks and, whatnot. Yeah. But anyway, so Christmas, Denise, our producer, came over. So it was Ken, Denise, and I. And we, when she came over, I don't know, it was midday, and then, 3-ish. And then we had some champagne, and I was like, let's make our snacks. And I don't know, it was 6 or 7.
Yeah.
When I was like, here's our snacks before dinner.
Yeah, and I think we were already home, and we were eating leftovers. Because I have a funny story to tell you about my Christmas day. But what's even funnier is at 10:30, quarter to 11, I got another text message. I'm 15 minutes into my melatonin. And she's like, we're having dinner. And I'm like,
uh-huh. You didn't even respond.
I didn't know what to say.
The melatonin was like, I'm drooling right now.
I thought to myself, yeah, but they want me to text them at 5 a.m. Hello, good morning, ladies. Look at my coffee or whatever.
Sure. Yeah, the answer is yes. My mom, by the way, I get texts from her at 4:30 in the morning because she's playing card games and wants to let me know, when she's having wins due to her new good luck charm that I gave her at Christmas, which I love. I love it. And, I'm sleeping. I don't hear it anyway. It's no big deal. So, yes, by all means.
Yeah, I will text you guys. I'll text you and I'll say, how are you feeling? Are you awake yet? Because I'm awake and I'm doing all this stuff because that's
I'll be like, we're just going to
bed. Exactly. We're on the same schedule. Even though we live in the same town, it's like we're in different time zones. But my fun Christmas faux pas, our dear friend Nikki had sent me a text message earlier in the week, said, what are you doing on Friday? And I was like, nothing. She's like, well, I'm thinking about having a brunch. Would you and the boys like to come over? I'm like, yeah, that'd be fine. Because I thought in my head that Friday was the 26th. So we got up on the 25th, which was Friday, on the 25th, and we were taking our time. We had the egg casserole breakfast that we made last year.
We have a tutorial on, by the way.
On our YouTube channel.
We do.
Even though you can't watch us live on YouTube, never does. But we have it on there. And we had done all our presents, eaten the eggs. We're all laying around, doing your digesting, whatever. And I sent Nikki a text message Merry Christmas. And she said to me later, she goes, I thought that was really odd that you sent me a Merry Christmas text message. And then, because she said be there at noon. And at 12:30, she was like, are you guys coming? And I was like, oh my God, today's Friday, not the 26th. And I was like, let me rally the kids. We had a shower. I was in the middle of a therapy session for my legs. I'm like, I'm going to be a little late. And so she was, of course, understanding. And we arrived. And I told her, I said, it'd have been more embarrassing when me and my kids show up tomorrow. Because I really thought that Friday was the day after Christmas.
Oh, how interesting.
Because I didn't.
Yeah.
Because it's COVID. It's 2020. I don't know what day of the week it is.
I know.
It's been a lather, rinse, repeat year.
Yeah.
There's nothing that says that. I mean, even though we know tonight, right now, is the 30th of December.
Right. It's New Year's Eve.
But does it feel like it? No. Kind of. It does, because we're festive here on our show.
Tomorrow is the day that's the ball drop.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What's going to happen?
I don't know. I probably will just be home. with William. We're going to watch some more rehab shows on HGTV and put things away.
Yeah, it's a little, yeah, it's like it's an unceremonious year.
Yes. With a really huge weight on everybody.
In fact, this is our ball. We're dropping
The coronavirus ball. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So, our weekends, pre-COVID, were glorious, right? We would go from wine tasting to wine tasting. We'd get a nice little afternoon buzz. We'd have creative, here's what we should be thinking about for the podcast. We'd be meeting people. We'd be
out and about.
It was amazing.
There was one time we started out at noon and didn't get home until 10:30. Or actually, I said I had to leave at 10:30.
That's pretty typical.
Emily was still out.
But
we even had fun times when we would go to the wine tastings, grab a couple bottles, and then go up to your rooftop deck.
I know.
And
we had the Anopia.
Yes, we did.
We had the Schrumsberg that we had as a preliminary simp tonight.
Yes,
it was great. And so I think for me, it's the weekends are one of the things I've missed the most. That kind of, the bonding and creativity and the just sharing moments with friends.
Yeah, and seeing people.
Yeah. And so I know that there have been, we talked about some healthy outlets like the cooking and whatnot, and the Netflix. That's an outlet, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What outlets have you embraced through COVID? And
so, what my day what would appear to be during COVID times, because my normal day would start with 45-minute swim in the Y, and then I would come home and I would get ready to go to work. At work, come home, have a glass of wine, whatever, record an episode if it's time for that, and then wake up the next day and go swim again. But I really, really enjoy swimming. Yeah, and I can't do it right now.
And you don't have a Stalker there anymore?
No. But did I tell you? Okay, so
this is an update.
So 2 time of the months ago, which would have been in October, when I was dealing with a Stalker at the Y. Yeah.
Right.
And I confronted him, and he hasn't been back. Now, I, of course, haven't been back because of my ear, but I will be back. I was walking around on the Hill, and the Hill, for those of you who are not in St. Louis, is our more Italian neighborhood.
Yeah.
I was walking around the Hill around Thanksgiving, doing some, shopping before I was going to have lunch with Nikki and our friend Shannon. And I walked by Shaw's Coffee House on my way to Viviano's grocery. And I believe he was sitting inside the coffee house, and he took my picture again, which was what he was doing at the Y. I was like, but I don't think he stalks me. I think it just happened to be that he was in that coffee house, and here I come, turning around the corner, bebopping, minding my own business, and he saw me, and
I'm concerned about the number of photos he has of you.
I'm concerned if he's posted them on OnlyFans and he's making a whole bunch of money off of it, and I'm not.
I would be less concerned about that and more concerned about a room where all your photos are pasted on a wall with some sort of action plan to kidnap you.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think that would, I think that's, no, I don't think that. I think he definitely was one of those oh my God, there she is. Let me take my.
Oh my gosh, there she is. She's a superstar.
But you know what? I'm not going to walk. I'm maybe I don't walk around the hill now because he might be waiting for me on the hill, right?
See,
so
that sucks. I definitely, when I had the Stalker days, which was pre-COVID. Yeah, I definitely stopped going to places that were favorite places of mine. That I too had friends, but it's you just have to, unfortunately, you
have to change your behaviors.
You do. So,
but
for me, a healthy outlet. I know you've been swimming.
Yeah.
Once the pool at least opened, and I think what they did was great with
perfect.
staggering,
you reserve a lane.
yeah,
it's
and all
yours.
of that.
Yeah, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can go post-COVID times. We're all vaccinated. I don't know if I'm gonna be a very good swimmer and share a lane with people. I think
You're just used to the open space around you. And
I'm probably gonna be really splashy or something, or make them not want to swim in the same lane with me.
Right.
I know it's terrible to talk like that, but
you've
gotten
used to your space. Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely, like the statistics that you found that COVID did, people went for walks. They started getting outdoors. 70% are working out more frequently.
17%.
17. Yep.
Yeah. I want to make sure because it sounded like you said 70%.
I said 17.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't enunciate clearly, but anyway, I myself have been one of those people that's become my entertainment.
Because you can't go drink anymore,
right? So
so you
marathon
got healthy,
walking.
not by default. Not that you weren't healthy before,
I know.
but you replaced marathon wine drinking days
with marathon walking. With a little wine.
Well, I can't.
Right.
I wouldn't expect you to go completely, cold turkey.
But what happens is, the first several miles are ours. Our sun wine. Yeah. And then midday, come time for appetizers, That's when the rosé or champagne comes out. Walk, walk, walk. Iggy Pup in his little stroller and a little tumbler of wine. It's fabulous. That's been it. That's been my weekend.
Stay
sane and healthy. It's been my thing. And to the point where I'm not sure how I'm going to feel when the world opens back up and now marathon walking isn't a thing anymore.
Well, that's one of the things they talked about was in this article that I found the information about people exercising was, some folks have gotten really good about exercising at home, and they're maybe I don't need to go to a gym.
Oh yeah.
Or they're used to using exercising with somebody on YouTube, or they've made these adjustments so that what you did before, you may not actually take that back up again in that same way. So for you and your marathon walking, when the world opens up, because we're all vaccinated, it could take a long time for us to get there as well.
Trickle down, right?
But for you, it could be that you walk between wine shops. Or,
isn't that a neat idea?
It'd be Emily's version of a pub crawl. But because I don't think you're going to want to give up your walking.
I know,
I think you
love
really
it.
enjoy it.
I do enjoy it.
Right. So, or maybe they'll have wine tastings on at different times so that you can still have your Saturdays and Sundays that are, they're putting in your miles.
That's a really good point. Yeah. Because I do like this idea in theory of walking from one wine place to another, but then eventually we still have to drive home.
Well, and if you have bottles of wine that you bought along the way, we're gonna look a little funny on the side of Big Bend Road.
This is the value of the Dog Stroller. So aside from being able to have Iggy Pup with me the whole time, which is awesome, the Dog Stroller holds wine and picnics.
Perfect.
And so, I kind of don't know what to do if I'm not walking with Iggy Pup because he's kind of the rolling picnic.
Yeah. Well,
awesome.
I'm probably not going out on a limb when I say this. You're not going to have to make a decision anytime soon.
That's true.
I'm just going to put that out there.
It's true.
Because
Yeah.
As much as I'm so thankful that there are several vaccines and that people are getting vaccinated.
Yeah.
It's just taking, there's a lot of us. There's 300 million of us in the United States.
Know.
And how many people across the globe? there's a lot of people that need to get vaccinated.
I'm glad it's going to our healthcare workers first.
And the first responders and the people
Yeah.
who are, working in nursing homes.
Our good
things
friend,
like that.
Dr. Becky Lynn.
She's gotten her vaccine.
She's joined us on several. Like, she's kind of like an every other season contributor and
Yeah.
good friend of ours.
Yeah.
And
So happy to hear that. My cousin Lisa got her vaccination.
Is she
She's a speech therapist. So it's so working with people. That's I think that's great. I don't know where in the pecking order we will be. I mean, we have a podcast. I think it should be pretty high.
Yeah.
It should be pretty high. We do a live show on once a month. I think it should be pretty high. But
absolutely.
But I'm not going to take a vaccine away from somebody who is more.
No. And
it's not the word deserving, but
more compromised.
Yes, that's the right
word. You are diligent about your health. You work out every day. You have a whole vitamin regime and a health process, which is more than most people do, and so, and I loved when early on, even when your son had COVID, you did everything you needed to do to keep your family safe and make sure he made it through well. And you never got it. And, you just were very diligent about your health and your family's health. And I think that is just absolutely incredible.
Well, I have to say that with COVID and, when Jacob got it, it's not something that you, as if your kid gets sick and you were going to give him the chicken noodle soup or he's got the flu and I'll just give you, here's a blanket. There's ways that you would care for somebody when they don't have COVID, but you can't really care for them that way when they do have COVID because you don't know if you'll get it.
Right.
So a lot of it was, here's the information, son. Here's what you need to take. This is what you need to do. Follow this protocol. Checking in every hour with him and stuff like that. And I feel very fortunate that he has come out relatively unscathed on the other side. But he's also 21. We don't know the long-term effects. We don't really know. Hopefully nothing. But I've recommended to him that he continue to take all of those vitamins and supplements forever.
Yeah.
Just to keep his immune system strong. And I think that's the most important thing that we can do is work on our health and then be good people out in public when we are in public. Wear your mask.
Yeah.
I ran into somebody in my office building on my floor. We don't have, our hallways are not, I don't think they're 6 feet wide across.
No, it's an older building.
Yeah. And we all go to we have to walk the hallway
Shared
to get
restrooms.
down to the bathroom and stuff like that. And my other people on the floor are going to the restroom without their masks. And I wear mine.
And your building's not enforcing a mask policy.
Our building has signs up, but people aren't, they're like, whatever, it's a sign. And one of the businesses across the way, I was waiting for the elevator and I had my mask on and he was like, "Oh, I'll let you go first since you're properly attired." He did not have his mask on. And I said, "Yeah, thanks." And he's like, "Well, I've already had it." And I said, "But that doesn't mean you can't get it again or pass it on to somebody else. Maybe you should wear a mask anyway." I was just like, what an arrogance about that. And like an ignorance and an arrogance about it, but whatever.
Yeah, that doesn't make me feel better about you.
Just because you've already had
it. Like,
and why did you get it? And I said to him, I'm like, I'm glad you survived it. Because some people haven't. Yeah. He was kind of weird anyway from the beginning. Ugh. But I guess one of the really great things that I'm looking forward to in 2021 is not worrying about our world blowing up every day, not having to see a tweet from the Trump, not having to see people just disregarding basic human decency from the White House.
Yeah.
And
I am looking so forward to the transition.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, I think we're gonna be able to put like our protest boots away because we won't have to go on marches every month. You know,
that's true.
Which is gonna be nice. But let me tell you, if we have to, we'll get those protest boots back out and we'll march, because although we'll have a different person in the White House, doesn't mean that things don't.
Every
need to be
decision
fixed,
will be perfect,
and
but
everything needs to be fixed.
yeah. But I am hopeful for the change there. But I mean,
we have made it through 4 years of relatively intact of Trump being in office. It's like we're in an abusive relationship, and we can't really believe we're going to get out of it.
I'm still kind of concerned we won't.
Well, we got to.
I mean, even today, our Missouri, our Missouri representative
said Josh Hawley. Hawley, you're such an idiot. He's going to contest it next week, because I think Josh Hawley wants to be president himself, so he's kissing all kind of ass. I don't care for Josh Hawley, and that should be a whole nother podcast episode. Another time of the month we rail on our politicians.
I'm just like, aren't we over this yet? Come on. And in fact, I think we're at the point where it's like, you're not doing yourself any favors, your party any favors. You just need to let it go.
You look like an idiot.
You're bigger to walk away and regroup. Yeah. At this stage, you're desperate.
Or Trump has some information on you, and you just don't want that to come out.
Well, that's probably true. Given some of the politics that have happened here in the state, I think there might be something there.
Maybe something will come out. I don't know.
Goals for 2021. Yay! Something to look forward to. So tell me something before we close today. 2021. What is something that is on your vision board and that you're looking forward to?
I am looking forward to being able to be out with people again, to expand my circles, to continue learning. I really have just to keep taking the knowledge in. There's just so much. And of course, when you become educated or know more, you make better decisions.
Yeah.
And have a broader outlook on people and their situations. So, And you?
It's very much the same. I look forward to being able to physically be with people again. Like so many, I have Zoom fatigue, but I'm thrilled we have Zoom.
Yeah.
I'm glad that my mom, by the way, on Christmas was the first time she Zoomed ever, which was amazing.
In all of 2020.
And all of it, And so I'm so thankful that we've found other ways, but I miss the physical connection.
Yeah.
And it's not that, like, I think we're both pretty, like, empathetic. Like we can feel people's energy, and we can, be in that moment and evolve differently as a result of that. So I miss that, and I look forward to that opportunity again. And I just want to continue to cultivate the foundation that has been laid this year and the year before, and just make everything continue to blossom further.
Yeah. I think we take everything with a bit of reality, because we know we're constrained.
Yeah.
We can't just blow and go like we used to do, not because for lack of want of doing it.
Blow and go, that's a hashtag.
It probably is a hashtag, probably for like something completely different. But one of the great things is that we've had this podcast, and we've had our listeners, we've had our viewers stick with us throughout all these seasons, throughout 2020. You've helped keep us sane. We hope we've helped keep you a little bit sane through all of this. And thank you for joining us on our final time of the month for 2020.
2020.
We'll be back next month in January, the last Wednesday of every month, on a platform, Instagram, YouTube.
We'll figure that out.
We'll figure it out. We got some time.
We will find you, and we hope you find us.
Cheers.
Cheers.